Hey guys, what's going on? Rivington the Third here on our third day of Comic-Con IEM here in New York City. We got League of Legends going on all weekend, all week pretty much long. Now the weekend is starting to hit here. I'm joined by Fnatic and Sypher. We have Shushay and Skyard here. These guys are about to play. They go to head-to-head. You guys have made it to the third round out of Group B. You guys, how did you feel if you would have been in Group A? I'm going to ask both of you this, so think of your answers as well, because it was considered the group of death. How do you think you guys would have fared?
I don't know. We were lucky that Americans kind of didn't know the European playstyle, and they, how is it saying, when they didn't think that Kog'Maw, for example, is strong enough, which we proved them wrong.
Right on, right on. What about you guys?
They did so well, and we'll do our best, and we reached the final stage, so let's see.
All right, so do you guys play Fnatic a lot? Do you guys scrim against each other quite a bit?
We played against fnatic a lot, yeah. And we know kind of how they play, but it's still hard to counter.
All right, what do you guys, I guess I can't really ask you what you're looking to counter onto them, but do you have anything you saved on the weekend to really bring it to Fnatic right now?
I didn't understand.
Have you guys really ramped up? Do you have anything like you're hiding, your secrets, something you guys have been working on for a long time to take down Fnatic?
Not really. But let's see. I don't know.
Right on. And how have you, playing Sypher over the months and whatnot, and knowing what kind of team they are? How do you feel about going up against them?
Well, it's a it's a lot different on LAN than on the online tournaments. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
All right, right on. So you guys have had awesome days so far. What have you guys done in the downtime here? You're in New York City, far away from home. What have you guys been doing?
Going around, but yesterday me and Becca was like walking for hours around the city, and we couldn't find a single store that sells alcohol. Yeah, pretty sad.
All right, well, you're going to be on top of your game, so it'll be good. No hangovers coming into this. What about you guys? What have you done to, pass the time when you're not in matches?
We arrived just a day before at the evenings to play, so we didn't have time to visit New York already, but after the event, for sure, I try to visit everywhere, and it will be fun. But streets are not like we expected. There are so many people, so many cars, so many everything. It's just so many.
Yeah, it's quite an experience, guys. Good luck to both of you in your match. You're going to start off day 3 here, guys. We're going to hand it over to Freak and Joe Miller in the casting booth.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We are up in the casting booth. Of course, you can see the lovely stage right behind us. So we had Riv up there just a second ago. And we are here for the first semifinals of the League of Legends IEM New York tournament. And this is going to be a great match. It's all EU, so of course Joe is here rooting for both teams, I would assume.
Yeah, of course.
Thankfully, unfortunately, both can't make it to the finals, but maybe Fnatic can best CLG, and then you could just rub my face in it all day, and I think that'd be okay. But,
yeah, three European teams, 1 American team left. I guess it's all changing up. I think Shushi made a really good point there about the whole EU versus North America thing this event. That the North American teams have, I think, banned a little bit incorrectly against the European teams and have suffered as a consequence.
Yeah, I'd always sort of thought that the EU players ended up being ahead in terms of the sort of the best champions to fit the lineups, or at the very least, like, EU lineups tend to just beat NA lineups. And we saw that sort of near the Season 1 championships where sort of Rumble had been played in EU for like freaking ever, that or banned. And then North American teams are like, what's Rumble? I don't understand. And like Twisted Fate was doing kind of the same thing, although I think North America kind of was first to jump on Zillion. But yeah, you're certainly right. Like, everyone was afraid of Caitlyn all day, every day, and it was like, dude, but Kog'Maw like wins games late game, and you gotta keep up with that. And it's shown so far. The champion selections have worked extremely well. We saw Sypher do so well with the solo top Nasus that I guess no one else plays, but no one could beat anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, Scout, it was, I think Demon actually made a post on Reddit, and he was like, let's hope that whoever plays against Sypher doesn't allow Scout to have that free farm on Nasus. And we saw it yesterday that they pretty much did. And in another game, his Udyr was also ridiculously strong. Yeah. It was like 7-0-1 at one point and 50 CS above everyone else. So I think we're going to see some targeted bans probably against SkyArt. Obviously, Alpha, their middle player, their AP carry, has been so strong in this tournament. We saw him playing Cassiopeia in the first game, which was a real whitewash for Sypher. They did absolutely amazingly well for that one.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see how both of these teams go into this one. You know, a lot of people, I actually asked on Twitter early on, who do you fancy for this one, fnatic or Sypher? And there was not one person, apart from Apples and from SK, who said Sypher for this one. Everyone was saying fnatic are going to win this game. But I don't think they're far wrong with it in terms of fnatic have shown that they're so dominant in this tournament.
Yeah.
And they also have big stage experience, which I think is really going to play into things. Of course, they're not actually playing on the stage here, but they are playing in the back area. So there's going to be some pressure on them, and I just wonder how Sypher are going to handle that.
I mean, so far they've played really well. They don't seem to be nervous. We were talking with some of the other teams. You know, V8 said, oh, you know, we don't have any LAN experience, so, you know, nerves are there, and we're playing kind of suboptimally, even though they are, of course, a great team, as are all the teams here for qualifying. But Sypher hasn't really disappointed yet. I think they're okay, and they've played against fnatic a lot. That, you know, we sort of talked with Curse. They're like, we've never played an EU team before, and they seem to sort of misstep in Group B. And you know, talking with V8 and everyone else, like, yeah, we haven't really played these teams before. It'll be interesting. It'll be kind of new. But you know, these teams actually do have that experience. I think, you know, the difficulty would be how would Sypher do against CLG. You know, if those teams both pass through, or if they both lose and take the third place match, you know, those are styles that you know, CLG does know how EU play, and they've seen Sypher play as well. Whereas Sypher probably not a big international contender. So I think this is actually the most comfortable match for Sypher.
Yeah, and I think we're actually all in the game. And our producer just asking for a ready to start. Piri asked if we can start this one, and I don't see any reason why not.
I think we're missing Fnatic's fifth.
I actually see him on my screen.
Oh, I actually don't. That's interesting. I'm going to actually rejoin the spectator then, because it looks like actually, someone logged into my client. That's why I was suddenly behind everyone. So let me get this one going on real quick. Hold on. You talk, because I'm like going through navigation right now.
So we do have all of these 10 players, and I'll give you a quick rundown on the teams, because I know we will have a lot of American followers here for this one who may not be so familiar with the European lineups. For Fnatic, we have XPK, Melisan, Cyanide, Lamy, and Shushi, and for Sypher is Piri, Lune, Althor, SkyArt, and Jothi. We are going to be getting into the bans and picks. We do have the tournament draft mode here, so everything will be done inside of the game, which is, you know, awesome stuff. And it looks like Freak will be getting himself in here in a second anyway. Yeah, so we can go now. That's good stuff.
Yep. All right. So looks like we do have all the players in the game. Melisan says, okay, everyone, except for Piri, actually have matching summoner icons. Fnatic all running that beautiful rose, and most of Sypher running that blue golem of some sort. Actually, I have no idea what it actually is, but it looks like blue mountains or something. But Piri's like, no, I got this like sweet red rally banner going on. So he's kind of a, I don't know, he's not really...
And the Riot content team guys are asking if the stream's actually live. Maybe we can check that in the back end, because apparently he's only seen a Intel Extreme Masters logo. So I'm sure we'll get that checked out, and then we can get this thing underway. So who's your favourite for this one? You got to see a lot of Fnatic in day one. Actually, I didn't so much. I watched the stream from the backstage. Yesterday we saw Sypher so strong. But who's your favourite in the semi-final in a best-of-3 matchup?
I said at the very beginning, at the very first day, that I thought Fnatic was the team that would take the tournament. They've won every time I've casted a LAN tournament with them. As long as they were in the tournament, they won. I mean, they didn't win IPL, they weren't there. But every time I've casted a LAN tournament with Fnatic, Fnatic have won, and they've always shown up strong. And every time they were like, well, Fnatic's kind of fallen off, but, you know, I'm still sticking with them. I think they have it. They have the experience. They do have the LAN experience. I think they've been winning most often against Sypher. Fnatic SK, if that ends up being the final, and Fnatic CLG, those are toss-ups, but still think they're the team to beat.
Yeah, I mean, online we've seen that Sypher have beaten Fnatic in times, but online it's a completely different kettle of fish. Of course, there's a lot more pressure on you. You've got the fans here, and I think it's going to be a very, very hard game for Sypher. The good thing for them is it is a best of 3, so you know, it's not all up in the air. You could say it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing that they could have got lucky in the first game and just walked through it, but we'll have to see. I think we're about to kick this one off. As they say, can we start again?
Yeah, and the best of 3 is interesting because you're going to probably see one team able to adapt. I think it's going to be, it's unlikely to see a 2-0. I think that's not what we're probably going to see here. I think what we're kind of going to see is first game, and we're going to see probably those typical bans. We're going to see possibly Nasus, or they think they can counter it. We're going to see Urgot almost definitely banned. I don't think Fnatic really runs him that much. But, you know, Urgot's been so good for Lune. And you know, he's sort of known as that. I was reading Reddit last night, and he was like, and people were like, oh man, dude, I can't wait to see that Lune Urgot come out. And he saw him once, and it was good.
That's what, you're not going to see him again.
That was it, right? You got them once per tournament. Like IPL, Dan didn't have that Heimerdinger in the semifinals, then you didn't see it again. They were like, no, we're not going to deal with that. We are into Champion Select now. Fnatic does have blue team, and Shushay actually, for a short time, actually had some of their names changed his name to X-Shay to troll Pekka. X-Pekka, of course, his name, but he's actually back to Shushay. But I always like when people troll name change each other. I'm always a fan of that.
Well, we've had the first ban here, and surprise, surprise from Fnatic, their first ban was Urgot. I mean, there's no real, nothing to say about that. It was kind of obvious that was going to happen. Second ban will be Kog'Maw. Third ban straight out of it was Rise. That's an interesting choice, I think, from Fnatic. I mean, I don't really remember seeing Sypher ever running Rise. I have to be honest.
I don't either. Cassidon, I think, makes sense a little bit, and the immediate Cassiopeia ban. So like, Pegasus is like right on. Like, I'm gonna ban like these mages, and I think they have like a special mage in store maybe that they think is gonna get countered by maybe Rise and Cassiopeia. I think this is Fnatic having a strategy that they're not worried about SkyArt's picks or anything, but I think this is really aimed at the solo mid.
Well, let's have a look at the final ban, and it will be Karthus. So, you know, a lot of these AP mages taken out very early on in the picks, which probably means that Fnatic are going to take it first. Their AP carry in this one, I should imagine.
So obviously, there's only a lot of choices. Yeah, in the next 40 seconds, I don't know. I mean, Kog'Maw's out. Caitlyn, I know, is not really the champion that EU cares about so much. If this were like CLG versus, let's say, Curse, I'd almost expect the insta-lock Caitlyn here. But, I mean, there are just a lot of choices here, a lot of junglers available. And interesting, they might do a first pick Talon. And I'm a little bit surprised with that because I think there are lanes that beat Talon. And you know, putting up a big carry that you need to get farmed, that you need to have a good lane and sort of dominate that game. You know, you don't really want to throw away a solo top. I'm actually always of the opinion that, like, you almost want to kind of pick that solo top because that lane is all on its own. It's much harder to get ganks there, except just from the jungler, but it's kind of isolated and must be there to farm all game. And all you can do is just like, oh, teleport into a team fight, teleport into a team fight. That lane specifically is all about the laning phase, more so than mid, which is, oh, I'm going to come down for dragons more often. I'm going to gank bottom more often. I'm going to have, you know, people come around. My jungle can come from both sides, so it's a less safe lane in those ways. But they are just very confident with the very early talent pick, and we'll see how that plays out for them.
Got 30 seconds left for Sypher to pick up their first and second choices. Most likely now going to leave the solo top until the last. They don't really need to be thinking about that now. And it looks like they're going to take their support first with Janna and Rammus going to be the second pickup.
Well, we did see that work very, very well for Cyanide when they played against, I believe it was Dignitas, right? Where Fnatic just pretty much crushed with the jungle Rammus there, but Cyanide's going to grab Lee Sin to try to beat Rammus. Lee Sin definitely a very well-respected jungler as well. Bit of a fighter, so if Cyanide does want to go and take lane farm midway through the game, that's kind of his prerogative. Lee Sin definitely can scale quite well in the late game, more so than Rammus, who's probably going to stay as the tank and give his friends the farm. We're going to see Solotov Udyr as a possibility. That probably will be a good lane to beat Talon, I would think. Has that shield to beat out Rake, has really good counter harass. With Tiger Stance. Okay, now I'm confused. Okay, there we go. Caitlyn is going back in there. They're going to have Yorick instead for the solo top there. And that could actually work very successfully. Yorick, an extremely potent laner as well. And I think also one that could beat Talon.
Yeah, and I like the fact that we're seeing the bottom lane, the AD carry being picked up now as well here for Sypher. Obviously, Fnatic do have two choices after this. And Sypher, they seem a little bit undecided as to what they're going for, switching back and forth. That Udyr obviously was very successful for SkyArt previously in the group stage, and he will lock in with that Udyr. Obviously, Caitlyn there as well, a very fast Ezreal pickup.
Yep.
On that bottom lane. And, yeah, Sonya.
All right, I see all this all makes sense to me, I think. And, wow, last pick, Zilean. So you actually are running a Zilean lineup. That's pretty interesting to me. And, you know, it's the kind of thing where you didn't normally see that Zilean grab very often. At least for the EU teams, but you know we talked with Ocelot briefly, and he was saying, we haven't seen Zilean a lot, but we kind of think that that, you know, it might be worth first picking Zilean in some cases. I think, you know, he does have that power there, and they are going to grab him. And that Caitlyn's going to be extremely safe at this point. That, you know, there's the potential of that Yorick there. And actually, thinking back to IPL, they had a game where they took Vayne, Yorick, Zilean, and Vayne just got super, super, super farmed. It was like, you kill Vayne, and Vayne comes back as a ghost. You kill Vayne, and Vayne comes back again. And just she wouldn't, basically just refused to die, and that worked extremely well. And actually, we are actually split in this game. Piri hosted one. Someone else hosted fnatic versus Sypher, the game name, and that's what I've been enjoying. It has more people in it. So fnatic are in, Sypher have 3 more to join, the spectators are in, and it is go time. So we're just going to blind pick their champions in, insta-lock, and it's going to be the first game of fnatic versus Sypher coming underway in the next basically 2 minutes.
Now you can see on your screens fnatic with a manager, HXD, behind them as well. And Althor has now left the game, but hopefully we'll be coming here in a second. So Althor on Zilean. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we did see a ban against Sypher yesterday of Zilean. I can't remember which game it was. So I'm just not going to talk about it.
They were one of the first picks against one of the American teams. No, I do remember that, actually. So, yeah, it seems that that was actually somewhat of a slightly known ban then. If the players managed to watch any of the post-game screens from, you know, from the qualifier matches or streams or anything, it does make sense. And Althor is going to be that Zilean player, solo top, of course. Skyhard on Udyr for the second time of the tournament. We saw him dominate V8 with that earlier yesterday. And I mean, this does look pretty strong. You got John and Caitlyn. Very good lane for poking. They're both pretty long range. Zilean bombs as well can do a lot of good things. I'm actually really intrigued to see what happens with the land speed record Rammus, because you're going to have that haste buff from the Zilean and have a power ball. He might get some really good ganks in there. We might see, you know, really, really good domination in mid. Morganato, though, a very safe champion. It's going to be difficult to see that work super well. And Shushay is going to be the one on talent up at top. He's going to be fighting Udyr. And I'm intrigued to see how that lane goes, because I'm betting right now, like, Udyr seems like he's going to win that lane pretty successfully.
Yeah, and we saw how good Skyart has been with that Udyr, how nicely farmed he is. Of course, that's not always just his skills, but sometimes the opponent letting him have a little bit too much. But I think I agree with you on this one. This lane should be fairly safe for Skyart once he starts level up. There you can see Team Sypher, who actually there was a little bit of confusion. They everyone thought they were dropping out of this tournament, and then they said, wait a minute, no, we're not. We managed to find them money. We're coming to the tournament. Now they're back here, and they're in the semi-final. So, you know, a great, great showing from the French side.
Yep.
And I guess this performance really showing that they are the #1 French team right now.
Yeah, it's good on them. I mean, it's a great job to show up, and they did beat some good names. And, you know, they're going to put up a good showing here against fnatic. I do have confidence in them. I think it's going to be 2-1, but I think it's going to be 2-1 to fnatic. I really do think they're the favorite for this tournament. But both these semifinals are going to be very, very close. I think the skill levels are all extremely high on all 4 teams in the semis, and I think we're just going to have great games in store, and that's ultimately all I'm really looking for.
Yeah, that's all we could ever wish for, I guess, to have those amazing games at this stage of the tournament. I saw the clairvoyance going down there very, very early on. I just need to change my scroll speed a little bit.
So we are seeing Sypher move around from the top right of the map. They are the purple team for this game. Sypher in here moving around. Zilean in front. We see Caitlyn coming down towards that brush, dropping those traps, giving her team a little bit of awareness against ganks in case they come through those locations. fnatic off on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I imagine that we won't really see all that much. Lamia and Melissan actually in the tri-bush down on the bottom side early on. Pings going off for fnatic up towards their blue buff, so it looks like we could see fairly safe here. But look at this, Lune's actually just dropped in a trap into that tri-bush. But above that, I don't think we're going to be seeing all that much going on. There was a ping down from Sypher a little bit further behind. They are pinging that tri-bush, so they know that there's someone in there from fnatic. And they're setting up with 4 guys. This could be very, very dangerous for fnatic as they start to move in towards fnatic. Will back away. Can Skyart get into range here for this one? Time bomb goes off. Exhaust onto Lamia, who has to use his flash to get himself out of there. Bomb goes off again. Lamia's got an ignite onto him. Surely going to go down. Are they going to finish it off? Yes, they are. Lune gets taken down by the tower, though. But he has taken the first blood. Lamia, of course, getting that one back. So, you know, Sypher, Freak, worth it?
Definitely worth it. They got first blood. I mean, if they say it in chat, but they got first blood with assists, but purely mathematically, they got first blood with assists, but the kill that Ezreal got, he did deal some damage and got the kill credit. That was not assisted by the Sona at all, so realistically, it was 400 gold plus an assist versus 300 gold and no assist, and that does give them a nice advantage. Caitlyn's going to be nice and far ahead. It opens up with a Doran's Blade and Boots and Potions. Ezreal not able to do the same. Does have 6 potions, which is nice, and apparently going to get a pause real quick. Someone maybe having a little bit of difficulty, going to figure out what that is right now. But we are into that first game. You can see, look around the mini-map a little bit. Talon fighting against Udyr at the top. They're kind of jumping down into the brush. We're going to see what they exactly want to do with that. Looks like Lee Sin has already started on that golem. Should be done with that pretty soon. Has 3 kills so far in terms of minions, so only killed the wolves right now. You see Rammus fighting his golem as well. Caitlyn coming back to the lane already. Ezreal, of course, not far behind either. Morgana Brazilian lane, we've seen that actually a couple of times so far. I know we've seen that, yeah, I think a lot of times during IPL actually, and it seemed to be kind of a stalemate lane. Morgana is kind of more of a farmer. She doesn't end up getting a lot of kills really, unless you're amazing with Ocelot in that game SK had against Dignitas, where they kind of just dominated. Or not SK, oh, was it? There was a game where they had a Morgana like get 8 kills like at solo top. And it was amazing, but I forgot who it was. It was one of the EU teams, though, for sure. I think it was Ocelot, because he was talking about how he's going to max Q because he was landing all of them. I think it might have been Curse. Yeah, it was against Pobelter. But Melisande kind of running around spamming. Piri and Lunet doing a lot of damage back onto him. Down to half health already. Melisande can use some of his mana to regain some health, and it's a little bit fast-forwarded, by the way, as we're catching up to real time. That pause kind of got us behind the game, but we're going to catch up soon. Lamia last hitting a little bit. We see a lot of pressure coming in. Actually, Cyanide had come by and ganked Skyart. He did burn his flash partway through this. I think he actually used that for the gank earlier on. But a lot of damage coming out on both sides. Cyanide going to go back into the jungle, though, and Rammus actually about to find him on the exit. Cyanide's going to pull back. Now has to be a little bit afraid. Shushay staying nearby. It's going to be a little bit scary for them. Morgana Zillion still farming up on both sides. 17 versus 13 on minions. Morgana actually outlast hitting by quite a lot. Lamia and Lunet trading blows.
Yeah, the pause. I still have my chat on here, so, you know, I can, if there's something that we need to say from the chat, we can. Oh, awesome. But not everything will be displayed. Obviously, we're watching Freak Screen. Yeah, apparently, Lunet didn't do his config, his game setup before he started, which, you know, probably going to be something that he needs going forward into this game. Down on that bottom lane, looks like fnatic are doing a decent job here of pushing this minion wave up onto the Sypher turret. We may see a gank here up at the top. Actually, Jothi is going to powerball himself in. They did manage to land that onto Shushay. Skyart will be exhausted. This surely will allow Shushay to get away. Yes, he will. He will stay alive from that one.
Yeah, I think that was actually a minor mistake by Skyart. He actually went in and stunned with Bear Stance during the Rammus taunt, which not only is a waste of the stun, but also means he's not going to attack and then take damage from defensive ball curl. So yeah. I think a bit of a mistake there. I mean, you want to run in there and stun normally as Udyr, but a slightly miscoordinated gank. That extra second there might have gotten the kill on Shushay. I mean, it's kind of up in the air, but certainly would have not been a bad thing to kind of keep him pinned for a little bit longer, but maybe it'll be okay. Cyanide spamming down these minions right now. We'll be getting this Lizard right here. Smite comes out. Level 4.5 right now. And Rammus already coming back. Of course, Shushay's exhaust is down. And they're coming in. Let's see if they get this one this time. Kenny Cutthroat. He's going to get picked right there. There's the Tiger Stance. A lot of damage here. Shushay going to fall. Nice job there. Good coordination by Jothi and Skyart. And indeed, that Udyr game going very, very well. That Rammus with some excellent ganks.
Yeah,
good way to start the game.
That's the great thing about Rammus. You know, he's so fast to get in and out of that jungle and get into a position where he can cause some problems on those ganks. And I think we're going to continue to see that throughout this game on this top lane, really trying to put as much pressure as possible down onto Shushay. Down on the bottom lane, quick look at the CS. 35 for Ezreal, 31 for Caitlyn. That's probably more to do with the fact that fnatic have been pushing this lane very, very heavily, and I guess Sypher losing out a little bit to that turret earlier on in this one. And again, they continue to farm. Luna actually taking a little bit of damage, but not all that much, and they are back there on that turret. So all should be safe here for Sypher. We do have Talon back up in lane now, and he's going to ward, which obviously is something that is so important here against this Rammus. He needs to know early when that Rammus is starting to move his way. And actually, the exhaust goes down onto Shushi as well, and Rammus is going to powerball in. Cyanide is there, but Shushi is surely going to go down. He's very, very low. There he goes. He does fall. Skyart in the process as well went down. And, well, that was nice cover from Cyanide. But again, Shushi falling very, very quickly. He's losing lots of time in this lane.
Yeah, he is definitely not scaling all that well. That was the danger of that first pick Talon, but Lee Sin, of course, able to carry as well. And actually, an aggression coming in. Pekka against Althor. Althor were flashed, but still get caught there. Might go down to the Dark Binding. He's taking a lot of damage. That will be a kill from Pekka. Though we did see Sona pick one up at the bottom lane. Looks like Lune did fall. Excellent play there by Lamia plus Melisande getting that kill. And they've equalized this game. They actually brought it back ahead now. 4 kills to 3. They're down 100 gold, or I think they're up 100 gold now. Thanks to those kill credits. And that's a good comeback there from fnatic, picking 2 up. The nice gank back from Lee Sin, traded at top. So a lot of deaths those last couple of minutes.
And I didn't really notice how much mana he had left, but I'm guessing that's why he didn't get Chrono Shift down in time to keep himself alive. Obviously, the 200 mana that he needed for that one wasn't there. This is a bit dangerous for Sky up on top because Cyanide is still hanging around with that Lee Sin. They've taken him down to around about half HP. Surely going to be able to take him down. Flash comes in, and we will see Skyart go down. Again, it's Cyanide who picks up that kill. Jothi has come across to cover that lane, but nicely done from fnatic. They've now gone 5-3 up in the kills, and look how aggressively they're pushing up on this lane already.
If they shove the lane into Ram, it's going to be hard for him to last hit all these minions, but he's doing actually very well so far. Yeah, I'm just going to watch Ram's last hit because it's awesome. That's all I do anyway. Let's see, Pekka versus Althor. Yeah, so they're pretty much safe, and Ram is actually doing an excellent job. Despite being pushed to his turret, he's actually getting like all. Oh, that's a Talon. He's safe. Yeah, I think Jossie actually did quite well against that turret. So, well done, Mr. Ramus. 35 minions. Actually ahead of Shushe in minion kills. So, and Ramus already started the game 2-0. So certainly was the right pick, it seems here. He's doing an excellent job.
Yeah, I think a little bit of a problem now is that Cyanide, the Lee Sin, is 2 for 0, got a decent amount of farm, got himself Wriggles, Lantern, and Boots already set up in that. So he's going to be very, very scary coming in onto these ganks. Down at bottom, we did see Ezreal just get himself back home. Picked up the Sheen already. So there's another strong Lamia coming back in lane. And we'll see how Lune can deal with that one. Puri is still hanging around though, so I think he's just gone back and warded. No, not quite. I guess it was just taking a peek there. Melisande has just warded up outside of Dragon, but he may just get caught out. Actually, Althor has come down. Jothi is going to powerball his way in. The Black Shield does go down. There's a great ulti from Melisande. They could take this fight right now, as Althor will get flashed into, and Pike's ulti is going to proc on absolutely everyone. Jothi is super low. Luna is going to take a lot of damage from that Tormented Soil, and, well, Jothi will be kept alive there for a split second. I'm sure it's Althor that's going to go down now. Yes, it will be. The ulti was used up on Rammus, who obviously got away from that. fnatic completely switching targets, as you would expect, and they continue to rack up these kills. Yeah,
that's an excellent job right there. You saw Lee Sin try to land that Q onto Rammus as he was running away, and that was right about the right time where he could have actually jumped to him with the second part and hit him right as the ult ended. It was nice timing, but wow, they catch Skyart right there, and they're pushing back into the damage, but that shield from Janna going to be enough to keep him alive. And Shushe playing like a true solo top. Oh, my team's fighting? Better farm.
We have also Peke 2-0-0 with Morgana far ahead as well in this year, 77-53, and that's going to become a very, very dangerous Morgana, fully skilled up in the Tormented Soil as well, so those minion waves are going to be absolutely decimated as soon as they come anywhere near. We've seen fnatic actually ping down towards Jothi's position, because we will be seeing maybe a pushing for Dragon. Yes, we will. That Dragon is going to be started by Sypher. The question is, do fnatic have anyone close enough to do any damage with this one? Althor has just had the Dark Binding landed in onto him. Great damage put out from Peke, but this Dragon is still alive, actually. And they've managed to get the Dark Binding down onto Lune. There comes the ultimate from Ezreal as well, and surely they're going to take down Jothi in and amongst all this one. Ultimate went off for Lune. It was actually blocked by Melisande. Lamia needs to get in there and follow Lune down. He's so low. Oh, amazing flash from Lune to get himself out. Wow. That's super, super fast reactions. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely great play there. And I mean, that was Ezreal flashing over to catch that one too, so excellent job. But yeah, they lost 2 for a Dragon. That's, if they don't capitalize with the turret, they're going to be okay, Sypher. I mean, it's not excellent to lose 2, but you know, if you're losing control of the map, you're going to lose the Dragon. And so you kind of make an equal trade. Oh, no. Oh, wow. That, Shusha comes up. Althor revives himself just in time. Can he dodge Pekka's Q? Yes, he can, just barely. That haste from Zilean coming into play right there, but nice job picking 2 turrets out of that, so that is what Fnatic wants to do. You pick up some kills, you want to push a turret. Even still, I think, you know, with the loss of map control they had from just the advantage Fnatic was building, it seems like it was an okay trade to take Dragon for 2 kills. The Fnatic are definitely controlling this game. They're up 3,000 gold already, or 2,400 at least. It's not the end of the world.
Bad news down at bottom here. Puri actually having to use his ulti to keep himself alive there. Is shielded up, but if Cyanide can get over, he actually dashes over onto that ward. Nice use of it, and there's the ultimate from Lamia to catch Puri. Cyanide was very unlucky not to get the kill in the first place, but Fnatic still managing to pick that one up. And, well, it leaves us a 4-0-2 Lee Sin. That is a very, very scary Lee Sin.
He's been pinged. They do know that Rammus is on the way. He's coming in with Ski Art. Here is Shusha. There's the exhaust, there's the hits. And he's been taunted into that fray. Taking a ton of damage right there, trying to get out there. Not a lot of health left on him. There's a flash in from Rammus. And yes, the ultimate will take that one down. Tremors, pretty much the last tick, but here comes Pekka. Pekka wants to get this kill. He's bounded Jaffe. He's coming up. And there's the ult onto Udyr. Udyr will not get out of this. He's trying to get away with Bear Stance. Will not be the case. Good pickup from Pekka. Just misses Jaffe there. Now Zilean coming in from behind. Time bomb is on. Could hurt. Oh, and here comes Cyanide. Dark Binding misses. But he's in there. The slows come out. He's just diving on a Jaffe. Althor's ult is still not up yet.
And whilst that Althor ultimate isn't up, I think Fnatic are going to be trying to put a bit of more pressure on here. Time bomb will go down onto Cyanide. Actually blocked up there. Oh, nice dodge again of the Dark Binding from Althor. Fnatic are ready to take advantage. This ultimate is now up and ready for Althor, or certainly in the next couple of seconds at least. So he should be safe on that one, and Fnatic know it. They're going to back away completely from that top lane. We will even see the blue pill back home from Pekka, who now has built up the Rod of Ages, does have Doran's ring, plus boots from a little bit earlier on. We currently have Lamia farming his way through this middle area, and just to give you an idea on the CS there, 90 to 70 basically between those 2 AD carries.
Wow. Oh yeah, let me put the scoreboard back on, you're right. And yeah, I mean, Fnatic are building an advantage here. There's still 2,400 gold to the advantage. Looks like blue buff about to give it to Pekka as well, and that is a nice advantage there. You're going to see him take the golem for himself. It's going to be nice, infinite amounts of mana, lots of regen, low cooldowns. And we have seen those low cooldowns actually play a big part in those fights. The first big team fight that Fnatic won was basically Dark Bindings getting hit every like 5 seconds roughly, and those were actually a really big deal. Managed to take down a couple of champions there. Althor was one of them, landed that Dark Binding after using his ult on Rammus. Melisande playing extremely aggressively, running through the jungle, has an Oracle's on, and actually going to give Shusha blue potentially. It's pretty sweet for them. They see Janna coming off to the side now. That has been warded as well. Rammus coming down. The ult comes off from Caitlyn. Cyanide takes that with Smite, and they're just going to back off for now. Actually, no, with Rigo's proc.
Yeah, the ultimate was used there from Caitlyn, which, I don't know, a little bit of a waste to be honest, but we'll have to see about that, how that affects possible next team fight coming in. We see Peke once again doing some damage round about the top river area, and Fnatic now all stacking up in this middle, so we may see them trying to take down this middle turret. Obviously there is a 1-0 lead in terms of turrets for Fnatic after they took down that middle turret. The shield actually came out from Janna as they land the Dark Binding onto Althor. The turret does go down. Ultimate went out as well from Ezreal, but it was dodged by Althor, so he's staying fairly healthy, but Fnatic can still force this one. They're actually all full HP here, and I think only Shusha is really struggling for mana. Okay, Lamia as well is a little bit low on that mana, and I think Fnatic from this are going to back away just a little bit. But they've done a great job of completely stealing everything from the bottom side of this Sypher jungle.
Yeah, and of course, you know, Pekka just has blue buff. He's spamming out Dark Bindings, just puts Tormented Soil underneath if he hits, or even if he doesn't, hits some minion damage, keeps himself at full health. Of course, his mana bar not really budging. And Melisande cleared a couple of wards out. Ezreal getting free farm bottom. Yeah, she's going to retake top as well, and they're in really great shape this game.
Peke still continuing to farm up here. Let's have a look at the Althor at the moment. Has 54 AP to the 120 of Morgana, which, you know, tells you a little bit of a story how much those time bombs are going to be hurting. Up at the top, we saw Shushe actually just burning his ultimate off there to get away from Skyart, or to put some damage out, which obviously didn't really do any damage onto him once he had the turtle shield up.
Yeah, but you know, he's got a brutalizer and cooldown boots, so it's like a 43-second cooldown ult.
Yeah.
You can pretty much recall, get back to lane, and it's back up for the next fight. Just using that to farm and get out right away, kind of using it like it's tormented soil. But wow, the dragon already respawning. Fnatic going for it. Shushe not with an ult just yet, but it's about 2/3 of the way back. And they're going to kind of control. They do know the wards are gone, as Malisson has an oracles. People are filtering in. Look at the map vision. Fnatic sees them. Sypher actually has a ward right down there, so traps coming down. Shushe still off to the side. He does have an oracles as well. Pekka going to tank that. It is pretty tanky, of course, with that Rod of Ages. 2,000 health at only 17 minutes is pretty good, so
yeah.
Happy to lead the way. Going to lead his team into battle. Cyanide nearby, drops a ward. And they're on for the dragon. Let's see if Sypher can stop them.
Sypher starting to work their way in. Actually, we will see the flash there from Jothi, who switches on his ulti straight away. Melissan is going down very, very low. Althor has fallen. There was the kill in onto Melissan. Jothi, though, will go down very, very quickly in amongst that one. And that's a good exchange for Fnatic. 1 for 3, plus the dragon coming in. And they are firmly in the lead on this one, Freak.
Yeah, Althor misstepped there. He was, I mean, you should not be this far from his team. We had everyone else back here. Somehow he got ahead. You know, Morgana did flash an ult and he tried to break away from it, but you know, didn't even use his revive in time. Like, that was honestly just a very large misstep from Althor. They could have probably won that battle by having him in better shape, reviving Udyr. Rammus is okay to die. I mean, Rammus died, but then they got the kill onto Sona. And then it's like, okay, well, now we can revive the Udyr, and now it's a 4v4, but you're missing your support. You know, we lost our tank, but that means you spent all your damage killing a tank. Not a big deal. Althor should have been alive there. Could have kept using the haste to get other people out, and ultimately just got caught. And that's just very, very unfortunate for him.
And if you look again at the difference in these two AD carries, Fnatic, of course, with Ezreal, Trinity Force, plus Berserker's Greaves, plus the Doran's Blade, and over with Caitlyn, triple Doran's Blade, Berserker's Greaves, and a BF sword. So, you know, Ezreal going to be hurting that little bit more here as they move forward. Again, Althor's in a very forward position there. I'm not sure whether he's trying to bait them out here or what, but he needs to be careful because his teammates just peeled away from him. Okay,
that'd be a bad thing. That seems like that'd be dangerous.
I'm not really sure what they were trying to achieve with all that stuff. PK will once again continue to farm this middle area. Jothi is there hanging around with Althor as Skyart comes in to join as well. But 4 from Fnatic, they're moving over towards this Baron area. I mean, Melissan has done a great job so far of clearing out those wards. There are a couple down, but they're down on this bottom lane kind of area, which is not going to make all that much of a difference, to be honest, because Fnatic have already taken down that bottom turret. That's not where they're focusing right now. Yeah,
but they are heading up towards the top. They have been revealed. Shushe's going to try to get away from Jothi.
His ult is up anyway.
Oh, nice move. And here comes Lamia. Lamia getting caught by Sky. He's going to try to get away. Sona shows up, but John is here as well. Jothi down to half health. Shushe is in the fray right here, taking a bit of damage here. And now Lee Sin comes in. John getting hurt pretty badly. Cyanide lands that slow. Will not dive the turret, but Skyart still back into the battle. Looks like Rammus getting out in front of Shushe, and he's getting caught. Oh, the damage output is massive. There's one going down. Skyart now getting caught. Will get ulted by Zilean. Should go back into the fray. Will get stunned by Morgana, but wow.
Oh.
Caitlyn drops almost immediately. Knockup's not enough from this Janna, and looks like
Cyanide lands a Q, and this is going to be a dead Skyart. And he slightly misses. But still, nicely done. I mean, the Morgana ulti there was absolutely incredibly placed. You know, Caitlyn came in there and got caught up in amongst all the fray. Althor's not going to survive this one. They've even stuck the Ignite on him as he tries to run the opposite direction. But the ulti comes across, and it's a nice dodge from Althor. He is still alive. And I think has he wasted enough time? No.
Not quite enough. Ignite did stay on him for some time. It wasn't more than 10 seconds between the last damage output. And ultimately, that just seems... I understand the sentiment there, but it's like, you're going to die, Wiper, in your flash kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they're behind now. It's a 6,000 gold lead. Fnatic are building themselves a nice advantage. They look poised to start winning game 1. They're winning. Certainly, anything is possible, but this team is playing so phenomenally. Shushe is not getting caught anymore. He's already got his Bloodthirster. He's very, very deadly. He's still completely frail, has no defensive items whatsoever, but it's still working for him.
And Cyanide's done such a fantastic job this game, 6-0-5 with that Lee Sin. So maybe we'll see a Lee Sin ban in the next game. I'm not sure about that.
Possible.
He's already got the Warmogs built up, obviously building up completely to that Atmog setup. Actually, he's taking a lot of damage here. Skyart did get the stun onto him. Skyart needs to be careful himself, though. Actually, will turtle up and try to get away from this one, but Lamia still doing that damage. There are lots of pings going down. Melisande is there with them, so they've got the heal capability if they need it, as Shushe will actually take down Zillion. Completely missed that one. That was down on the bottom side of the map.
Yep, they're moving on to Jothi now. He's getting away from Morgana, and he will survive that. Yeah, 2v2 down at bottom. Did get a kill onto that Zillion. Again, no revive used. His flash was down.
Oh my god, look at this Singed.
That is awesome. That is a sweet, sweet riot Singed.
Awesome.
That's legit, yeah. No, I'm no longer able to talk about the game. Okay. Peckhead going for the blue buff again. This is, I think, like the second or third time Fnatic's been stealing buffs. We did actually see Cyanide steal red with Smite earlier on, just about 30 seconds ago. And they're just completely claiming the entire jungle. This is looking good for him.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit ropey for Sypher, if I'm keeping it mild here. This turret is, of course, going to fall down very, very quickly. Not sure why they're so in and amongst them at this stage of it all, as the ulti is just going across everyone there from Sypher. They need to be very careful. This could end up going super bad for them. Jothi only needs one more hit. He's actually got the ulti up there from Zillion. Skyart is low. Lune is low. Skyart will go down, and actually Lamia will blink his way in there to get the kill onto that Caitlyn. Nicely done. Jothi goes down in and amongst it all as well. And well, Fnatic have again gone 1 for 3, and they should be able to take this turret down there. Zillion with no ulti, and a Janna. I don't see them being able to stop this one if Fnatic push, but they're not so healthy themselves, and actually decide to back away.
No, fair enough. They did get that one turret there. They did trade 3 for 1 overall. You know, advantages being built. 7.8 thousand going to the lead. That's the kind of lead where you're in really, really good shape. And it's kind of just showing. They've been dominating each one of these fights. They even got a good Zillion ulti. It did revive someone. And, you know, that was nice. It helped them, you know, take fewer losses, because ultimately they had to hit Remus a bunch again, and he kind of stayed alive for a while, and that was kind of nice. But they're just not getting enough done. They're not doing enough damage. Caitlyn's not nearly as high up as Ezreal. You look at her item build. And, yeah, she's got a Bloodthirster and some Doran's Blades, but, of course, she's been dying so much that Bloodthirster never really stacked up. So, you know, has just attack damage, not a lot of attack speed, not any crit chance, and it's just not quite working compared to what Ezreal has.
Last-ditch attempt.
Yeah, they're going for a Baron. I mean, they do have ward control at this point. Fnatic technically doesn't see them. There's a ping, but they are all far. So, I mean, if they had the damage output, they could take it down before Fnatic shows up. But you just see how slowly Baron is dying. I just talked about their low damage output, and that shows it. Across the map, Baron attempt, and it's not even at half before Fnatic shows up.
Yeah, Fnatic actually will get themselves away. Piqué just taking the damage. And back to that last team fight, I mean, we saw a great ulti from Melisande over practically the entire team. However, we didn't see the Morgana ulti in and amongst all that one, which kind of surprised me. That would have been the perfect opportunity for Piqué to get it off and get the double stun in action. But either way, Fnatic are going to go back down for this Dragon pickup just to extend their gold lead that bit more. They're around about 9k ahead already. In fact, it's 8k exactly, but you know.
It's going to be about 9k now.
Now it's going to be 9k.
There you go, 9,000 gold. You were just telling the future, really. I totally see it. Good job. And Sypher coming down, actually trying to pick up a kill. Udyr is bear stanced, but that's a black shield and a dark binding. It's going to make that really difficult. Jothi going to mill about. Will not jump Melisande. Gets a time bomb on his head and is going to be afraid of P.E.K.K.A, so never mind on that. Ezreal farming top. Actually, Talon coming in towards the side as well. A nice dark binding lands on a Skyart. A little bit of damage there, sustained up by that Sona. And here comes Talon in from the side. They find Jothi. He will taunt. They're going to go into this fight here. Lee Sin in the fray. They've not found a squishy just yet, though. They don't really want to keep staying on this. Nice. Morgana ult comes in there. Althor immediately drops again. Stun lands onto Ramus. A good dance there onto 2. Janna and Kate not in good shape. Shusha picks up Skyart. Jothi will fall. Now moving on to Piri. He will take a lot of damage here, getting slowed down. Ezreal in there as well. Will not land a slow just yet, but they're going to kill her anyway. Cyanide is now godlike. That's 7 kills.
Surrender.
The surrender does come out. Fnatic up 1-0 in this best of 3. About ready to move on to the finals. They need one more game. They're going to reflect on that for a little bit and then decide how they're going to try to take game 2. And Sypher needs to turn this one around very, very soon. Okay, and so they're going to move on through for now. And let's find out what these guys can do.
We just have a couple of issues that we need to fix.
Yeah, sorry about that. So let's see, the top players, Lamia going 4-1 and 8. His first recall back, he was first blooded, and let's see what else. I'm just looking at the scores real quick. Pekka 5-1 and 12, 7-3 and 6 on Shushay. Melisan 1-1 and 13. A lot of assists there, of course, for him. Cyanide just 7-0 though. That dominating Lee Sin play. And that's what happens when you are, when the Atmogs build. I talk about it a little bit. He got the fast wriggles, got the fast boots, and he finished Warmogs really early on, so he managed to stack that up really, really quickly. He only got the chain vest, though, on the Atmos, but it didn't matter. His team was so far ahead. He managed to play as the main tank. You look at that lineup, right, and you're like, well, they have Talon in melee, and he built full squishy, and so Lee Sin got ahead and managed to build very, very, very tanky. That was awesome from him. And, that was really one of the big things for that team is they got very far ahead because of Lee Sin. He got to go in there and do an amazing job. And being the tank for that team is so incredibly useful. They needed an actual tank in that lineup. They were relying on Cyanide to play well. They grabbed that Rammus away right away. And it's actually kind of interesting if you look at, everything that they were doing. They first picked Talon. And, come to think of it, it's possible that Sypher said, well, so you only picked your solo top, and he's squishy. We're going to take the only real tank jungler that anyone's been playing in this tournament, aside from Nunu, and say, you better get a tank somehow. You better get an initiator somehow, because it's not going to be Talon, and we know you're not going to take Zillion. So, where's your initiate going to come from? Are you going to run, maybe dual bot, Alistair or Maokai, kind of make a tank there, or are you going to take a range sort of sustaining support? We're going to grab Janna here, and that seemed pretty effective as well, if you come to think about it. But Cyanide got so many good ganks. The ganks came in from Rammus. They did really well. They killed Shushay twice early on, but Cyanide came in. He picked one of those up for himself, and he became that tank for his team.
Yeah, and that's made a massive difference. I mean, you look at Skyart's score there on the UDA, it's 0-7-5, and obviously you need a lot more than that if you're going to be going up against this Lee Sin who's done so well to gank. I mean, credit where credit's due for Sypher in the early game. They actually pulled off some decent ganks. Obviously, Jothy coming in there with that Rammus. But once Shushay was, basically once he got up to level 6 and had his ulti for that escapability, then it was a lot harder. Then we saw Cyanide really hitting hard. And from that point on, it was all about Fnatic. So we'll be moving on here to game 2 pretty shortly. You can see there the guys from Sypher not looking so happy with the whole situation.
Head in hand,
their back is to the wall now. They have to win the next 2 games in a row against a Fnatic team who have looked so good, and they've not lost a single match in this tournament yet so far.
That's true.
They're 4 out of 4 up to this stage, and they're going to be looking to make it 5 out of 5 as they move in towards the grand final. And one thing before we actually get off onto the second game.
Oh, you have
this.
You have a sweatshirt.
I have.
I carried New York to Extreme Masters. Nice.
Should probably show this on the camera. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, the I Carry New York shirt is in there. It's bright yellow. If you're in the crowd, turn around. It's kind of over here by Joe.
There we go.
Have it on stream.
So one lucky player is going to actually win this one. There is only one made in the entire world.
Wow.
And it's bright yellow, which means you stand out with it even more.
That's true.
But what you have to do, guys, this is for the MVP vote for League of Legends. Head over to intelextrememasters.com, and there will be a poll up, and you have to vote for your best player of the tournament so far. It will actually continue until the end of the final. We changed the system just a little bit since Guangzhou, which was obviously a week and a half ago now. And there'll also be a bit of a professionals vote as well as the fans vote. So Freak,
cool.
Rivington, myself, and I guess a couple of the admins and what have you will have their vote in that as well. So it's not just about who's got the biggest fan base. So maybe Hotshot won't win again. But that's a cool thing that one of these players are going to win. Obviously, it's not just the hoodie. They also win a Intel Core i7 Extreme Edition processor, plus a whole bunch of goodies from Razer, plus one of these awesome BenQ 120 Hz monitors that they're playing on in the tournament. So
Nice.
a nice little payday for being MVP as well.
Seems useful.
So let's see if this second game is going to be coming up.
Yeah,
we can switch the camera back onto the players. It's always interesting to see the emotions in between games. Fnatic looking pretty relaxed, as they have done throughout this entire tournament, which can't really be said for Sypher. All 5 guys sat down in deep discussion. I won't be able to understand what they're saying. Apparently Freak has a better understanding of the French language than I do.
I could say things to them. Me understanding a discussion is not going to go so well. I've got the accent. I know, like, you know, a limited vocabulary, but I can pronounce their names. It makes me feel superior. So that's it. I was actually running around the player area backstage saying hi to everyone in their own languages. So I didn't know it in Finnish, so I was like, I got Swedish. That's kind of close, right? and Cyanide was just like, freaking Americans. Really? But we do have the players into the game. I mean, are we just actually, they're kind of standing up right now. That seems. I think we should start the draft while the players are standing up and not paying attention. I think that seems
that's the best way.
Yeah.
Who's got? Unfortunately, Fnatic have control of the game, so no, they're not going to do that one. Yeah, they're having a bit of a chat about this one and some hugs as well. Really high spirits in this Fnatic camp. They're feeling very, very confident coming into this tournament. I mean, they managed to pick up that 3rd place, obviously, at the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge at Gamescom, which was the first global challenge of the season, which CLG won, TSM finished 2nd. They didn't qualify for China. Actually, I don't think they even tried to qualify for China. I think they were on some trip with sponsors and what have you, so they didn't even go for that one. But they're here in New York, and so far looking very, very strong. Played 4 games in the group stage in this first semi-final and won all 4 of them. So, you know, super, super strong Fnatic lineup at the moment. And we're going to go into the champion select, and we'll see what both of these teams have to offer for game number 2.
Yep, Sypher, our first pick. They did lose the last game, so they get the choice of side, and they go for blue team first pick. Again, the ban is Kassadin. They are afraid of that Pekka Kassadin. Urgot, of course, the instant ban, and they might go for the same stuff over and over.
Lee Sin.
Yeah, and now come to think of it, the bans on Rise and Cassiopeia could have been to make Talon have a safe lane. Because, you know, they insta-locked that Talon. They really wanted it. Yeah, there's the Morgana ban. Pretty smart from Sypher. Apparently don't want to play Morgana themselves. The Kog'Maw ban against the first pick team makes a lot of sense. And again, they're going to ban Karthus, so they have very similar bans to last time. Not having to ban Kog'Maw because, of course, Fnatic will do it for you.
I wonder if they're going to go Fnatic with a Lee Sin ban, with Sypher having first pick for this one.
I don't know. I've never really seen junglers be that contentious. They're going to ban out Cassiopeia. It seems to be the mage of choice here. Her and Morgana have been the most sort of sought-after mages here. And wow, the Insta Swain, interesting. All right, I can see that. I think there's counters, but I see it.
Let's see if that's what Puri will be sticking for here. The first pick for Sypher. If you're just joining us here on esl-tv, Fnatic are 1-0 in the lead, and one more win out of the next possible 2 games will put them through into the grand final, where they'll face the winner of our next game, which, you know, the second semi-final, that will be SK versus CLG.
Yep.
2 very, very strong teams, and another European versus an American, or North American, I should say, semi-final. So that'll be good to see. And it looks like they may be switching out here, switching between Swain and Vega. I'm not sure if they really know which to go for, although Swain's been the one that's been locked in there longest, and it will be Swain first pick for Sypher.
And again, the Talon and the Lee Sin grab, so a very similar lineup here. And, you know, I'm actually, I mean, well, Talon kind of hurts that a little bit, but I'm almost predicting a Nasus from Sky. I think Swain and Nasus synergize together a little bit. And honestly, you know, when we saw them play against Curse and V8, they were like, well, or no, it was Curse and SK. They were like, you know, we'll just kind of run what we know. You know, we know our Nasus is good. Let's do that. He should work pretty well. And it did work against Curse. And honestly, you know, when they were in a do-or-die situation, they said, Nasus, right? It's his best champion. Let's do that. And I can see that again. Of course, Urgot's gone here. But they have choice of ranged carry and choice of support as well. And we'll see what they do with this.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense at this stage of it all. Obviously, Urgot is banned, which is the one that Lune has been playing so amazingly well. Looks like he's going to go for the Tristana, which
I think it's a good choice.
We saw him playing as well in, I think, the second group game for Sypher. Obviously, Swain was the first pick, and Alpha's got only a couple of seconds to pick someone, and it's going to be the Pirate Gangplank.
I like these picks. I like these picks a lot. These are all really good choices. And, you know, I think it still leaves the option open for that Nasus, and I'm still predicting it. I think it's still a really great choice. I don't think Talon can really shove him out of lane too well. I think Nasus has great counterattacks too. Talon's harass. Again, they're going for Ezreal Sona, so a very, very similar lineup to last time, but they will not have Morgana. So we'll see what their new fifth is going to be. It's time for Sypher to make their last two choices afterwards. We might see the repeat on Janna. We might see the repeat or the newly arriving Nasus. Although at the same time, Swain also could counter that Talon choice. So we'll see how this goes. I'm curious to see what these choices end up being.
Obviously, they do have that time limit on there, so being pressed into making their decisions. Let's see what Sypher complete their lineup with as they try to battle back in this match.
Yeah, I can see John and Nasus. I could see Udyr showing up again. Soraka going to be the pick. Okay. So the support's going to be Soraka. Have only seen her a few times this tournament, but I think she's always been very powerful here, so we'll see if this pans out.
Final choice.
15 seconds. Come on, Sky, what you going to do?
Really leaving it down to the last couple of seconds here, keeping the suspense high for us. Until he misclicks in the final second, and then he gets stuck with someone that he didn't want to go with. Garen.
That's actually a great choice. Garen is a great counter to melee. I think it's actually a phenomenal choice here. So they have really like anti-melee lanes super hard right here. Garen, I think, can beat Talon in lane quite successfully. Udyr was able to as well, but then Lee Sin showed up and ruined his day. But Garen will have kind of that same impact. Will be a nice, strong tank here. It's going to be a really big front line wall between Garen, Swain, and Gangplank. Soraka and Tristana in the back. They have some high sustain. All their melee champions can heal. And Akali, wow, double melee here for the solos. I'm surprised. I'm amazingly surprised by that because it's Garen and Swain. Both of them are good anti-lanes to these champions. Yeah, they will hop back through and go into a blind pick game. Yeah, get their swap going through again. So, just a couple of seconds here. And we'll be into the game. And yeah, Shusha has hosted that one up. I'm going to spectate that one. Blind pick, players coming in. fnatic must go over to the purple team. Then otherwise we will be good to go once the players are ready.
So these picks very interesting from fnatic, going for the double melee choice. Freak, I mean, you say that the Sypher lanes, they've got two great champions in there that could counter this one. Does that mean that you're really favoring Sypher off the picks that we've got?
I mean, I liked Sypher off the picks last time a little bit, but yes. I know when we did the Sypher SK game, I said, you know, I like Sypher more on comp, but SK on skill, and SK won that one. This one, though, I mean, people, like, specifically state that Garen should be a counter lane to Akali. Like, I've seen that a couple of times from players yeah, wait up for the last spectator. And, you know, like I said, I have specifically seen that, that, you know, Garen should be the counter lane to Akali. And I think, you know, we saw last time that the solo top Talon did get shut down. Now, I'm not going to send Garen mid necessarily, but, you know, I don't know if Akali is really going to win the lane against Swain. I know we saw that at a tournament a little while ago. It might have even been way back to Season 1, but I'm trying to remember what it was exactly. But it was basically like Akali versus Swain top lane, and Akali dominated it. And everyone was surprised because it was supposed to be that Swain was this big anti-melee. So maybe Akali does win versus Swain. Talon already had a bad lane last time and still came out ahead. And, you know, that Ezreal Sona, as last time, did very well. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. You know, I still think those lanes are really good for Sypher. I do like the Tristana pick. I like Soraka as well. Yeah, you know, fnatic just dominated the last game despite a bad early game. And I think that's kind of going to be the story again. I want to pull for Sypher. I want to pull for that game 3. You know, I want to see them come in and take this one and equalize it. I still think fnatic are the favorite for the tournament, but, you know, those picks were good. And, you know, I totally see this working for Sypher's favor.
Yeah, I totally agree with you as well. I really fancy Sypher for this match. I want to see a third game.
Yeah,
is basically the whole story with this one. We do have the final guy, so we can go. That's good.
Alrighty, yes, and we are about to pump in on this one. Sypher ready, yes. And yeah, when fnatic was asking for the ready. And they assume that they are ready as well. And there we are into the champion selection again. The blind pick's going to be easy. Pekka is going to be playing Akali here. Shushay once again on Talon, Melisande on Sona. Cyanide jungling on Lee Sin, Lamia again on Ezreal. So only one champion, the difference here for fnatic. Sypher actually with an entirely new lineup, a completely different strategy from last time. And, you know, this is a very high damage lineup as well. You've got Tristana, who scales so well in a late game, does, I believe, out-damage Ezreal. Ezreal has that poke game. Ezreal has a little bit of a better laning phase. But, you know, Tristana has that giant attack speed steroid, has extremely, extremely long attack range. And I think, you know, we'll be able to just pump damage into whatever she chooses to hit. I think if they keep Cyanide from getting farmed, they'll be okay. And let's see what's going on here.
See fnatic, Ocelot in the background there from SK as well. Actually watching the game. The rest of his teammates are sat out here in the stand, actually. Having a peek at possible finals opponent, fnatic or Sypher for them. You know, I think maybe the better, best final opponent that they could wish for, a European team here. They're going to know a lot more about them. Obviously, CLG is another team that they know a lot more about. But now, CLG, they seem to be able to adapt to anything that's thrown at them, which is, you know, a great thing. Obviously, in China, it didn't quite work out in the end of the day, but they showed some great adaptation skills. We are going to be jumping into the game here in just a few seconds as the delay period will wind down, obviously, to get in on that spectator mode. And we'll start off with the second game. It's fnatic versus Sypher. And if fnatic pick this one up, they are through into that grand final with a 2-0 victory.
Yeah, if fnatic can go through that dropping a map, that's definitely very impressive. And you know, they'll be poised to take on SK or CLG and be in good shape here. I think it's actually really good for them to actually run the same strategy in case they wanted to actually hide strats from the other teams. If they're like, look, we know, you know, we're in good shape here to take this final. If fnatic is super confident, it's kind of smart of them to not innovate here and hope and see if you know, Sypher can do anything to counter them, because then you just got that advantage of saying, hey, you know, we're not showing our hand, we're not showing any of our cards. You know, good luck countering us. You've only seen one strat so far.
Let's see if we see any early game aggression from this one. We didn't see any in that first map. Obviously, there was some action, if you can call it that, really, down on the bottom side of the map. Did see a push away very, very quickly. In First Blood, you know, was knocked down onto that onto the bottom turret fairly early on as well. So, you know, we'll see if Sypher go for anything again. This setup is with all 5 men weighing down onto the south side of the map. fnatic, on the other hand, are completely spread along the entire side of their jungle. So they were looking to cover this one, trying to spot where the early push may come from Sypher. Actually, Clairvoyance has just gone down, and they will be able to spot their Cyanide and Lamia from that one. And Sypher are starting to move in towards this jungle position, in towards this buff, and will actually manage to get in onto Cyanide. Wow. That is going to be First Blood. That was amazing from Sypher.
That was ridiculous.
Cyanide was napping a little bit there, I think.
They didn't even use a flash. They just landed the... That's phenomenal. That's just phenomenal. That's so great. That's an amazing play from Sypher.
I think Cyanide was caught sleeping there somewhat, looking around the map or something.
A little bit.
He had his flash up, and it's not like the you know, the bind there from Swain is instant. You can definitely have time to flash out there if you've got the time, if you spotted it. But I guess he was a little bit slow to do that one, and First Blood has gone over to the French side to have, you know, they need to win this one. They've got off to a good start. Cyanide will get back into his jungle pattern. The blue buff is going to be helped out here a little bit by SkyArt, but that is going to be, of course, going to Joffy early on in the start of this one. In the middle lane, we are going to have Swain versus Akali, as we said before. Down on bottom, actually, Sypher will be taking those 2 golems before they head themselves off into that bottom lane, which, of course, they will be facing Sona and Ezreal, same as last game.
Yeah, and so the top lane is going to be Garen versus Talon. Akali, yeah, let's see if Akali can do well against Swain. I think, you know, in mid lane, it's actually better for Swain than top lane, because now Akali can't hide in the brush and do some of that fun stuff. We'll see if that ends up being the case here. Okay, definitely playing aggressively. Wow, so nice aggression against Althor. Will get rooted there, and the invisibility ends, so Pekka taking a lot of damage here. Althor, of course, since he got First Blood, just opens up with an extra mana crystal in lane. He's going to be hard to push around. Pekka actually, wow, jumping in already.
Amazing.
Flash, ignite, and not enough. 6 health left. Althor survives, will of course recall. Are you sure you want to stay in lane, bro? I mean, he's going to bait Pekka there. He's going to root him. There's the stealth. Jothi going to get jumped on. He's going to find Pekka. Of course, no flash there. Going to push him back.
Pekka, I mean, it was a little bit lucky there. Stain obviously can get that shroud down, get himself invisible, but still unlucky not to get the kill onto Althor. Of course, pop those potions, probably swearing, oh, come on, please survive. And in the end, managed to keep himself alive with that one. We've actually got Lee Sin coming around. There is a ward in position, so SkyArt knows that he is coming in there. And that's something that they were a little bit slow to do in the last game, is to get those wards down. They've managed to do it this time, and that's going to help them out a hell of a lot in that top lane and stop those ganks being so successful as we saw in the game previously. Jothi, in the meantime, did start to invade. fnatic did come back to take a peek, but he's already gone back down in towards his own lane. Down on bottom again, fnatic, as we saw in game number 1, managing to push this bottom lane fairly nicely. Tristana 13 CS to the 21 of Ezreal. So Lamia doing a great job in the early stage of this one of getting ahead with the creeps.
Yeah, and we're going to see, the lanes aren't really going either way so much. Pekka had some early aggression, but Althor seems to have healed it all back. Aggressing back onto Pekka again. He's taking a fair amount of damage, but into the Twilight Shroud will keep him a little bit healthier. And of course, that Spell Vamp, farming those minions, going to help him as well. He's getting rooted in place. Althor again playing aggressive. Pekka down to half health. And actually, you're going to see this lane start going better and better and better for Althor. Pekka's already gone through 3 health potions. And Althor back alive. Sorry, guys. Gangplank ganked bottom. Sorry about that. Melisande did go down. A nice gank coming in there from Jothi. And Soda did not make that retreat. Garen fighting against Talon's top lane. You see 23 minions versus 21. Talon actually doing a very good job despite fighting the big Demacian swordsman. Pekka farming around. Doing okay.
Yeah, SkyArt just doing, chipping away on Shushi, but I don't think we're going to see too much up there until we see a gank actually coming in. Pekka actually taking a fair bit of damage there in middle. Again, was rooted. Down on bottom, we are going to see Melisande coming back into lane in a short while. Lamia actually decided to play that one super defensively after that. And Lune is also going to go back, so we'll add to that Doran's Blade that he picked up earlier. Up at top, Shushi is actually managing to push that lane quite nicely against SkyArt. Aim there to get those creeps onto the turret. Stop SkyArt from being able to farm so hard with that one, which he will certainly do here. There are a lot of them low HP, and we'll see if SkyArt is able to balance this one out. So far, doing a good job of managing that one, but he will no doubt miss a couple out. And this is a great opportunity for Cyanide to move in now for the gank. He has come into this brush, and as soon as that Garen starts to move out, I guess he won't be expecting that Cyanide is already there. And, well, Juicy starts to go back. A bit of damage done. Gonna wait for that Q to land onto him and make the push out. Here we go, and the push will come in. He actually spins away from that one. Exhaust put down, and he actually uses the flash to get himself completely safe. So nice amount of damage done. Cyanide still sniffing around there with that one.
He lands the Q. He's going to go for it. Up onto the turret. Ult comes out from Skyart. Cyanide will make it out. Shusha picks up that kill. Cyanide surviving just barely. 180 health left on him. And it almost feels like he should have turned and bursted Shusha instead. Cyanide is already on his way out. Could have used that Ignite and ult and maybe picked up Shusha instead, but kill. A great dive there from fnatic. They coordinated that one very much properly. Both of them living with very little health left, just under 200 on Lee Sin, and Talon at about 500, 400 on his way out as well.
Becky's actually fairly low in that middle area as well. Needs to be very careful that no one's going to be coming around. No wards, actually. No defensive wards, and he could be caught out here. He's actually rooted outside of his shroud distance, but he manages to get into it, but Althor will pop that ulti, and he is going to take the kill onto Peke. It was a little bit unlucky as well that that root did catch him just outside of the shroud, but nonetheless, nice work from Althor.
Yeah, absolutely great play. You can see the spam coming out from Lamia. Also did a pretty good job, but of course, this giant heals from Piri are enough to keep Lune at basically full health. And you look at the farm here, because it's basically just a bunch of healers on both sides. Well, it's 45 versus 55. Excuse me, 55. Lamia is ahead in gold, but he's not recalled yet. So unless he can push that lane, he's going to miss out on some gold when he finally does go back for items. Right now, he's pretty rich, though. 1,600 gold. He might go for a fast BF sword. Getting aggressed on by Lune, still wanting to push in there.
Wow, Shushi actually going down fairly low up at top as well. He came in there, Garen just spinning straight in onto him. Shushi instantly knocked down below half HP. Actually, Akali is coming in. Maybe we're going to see somewhat of a lane switch up here. Actually, they're going to start diving in towards Skyart, who's going to go very low, and he is going to go down. It is Peke who actually picks up the kill. That was a much-needed kill for Akali. Up against that 2-0-0 Swain in the middle. Alpha will start to be looking very, very scary. At the moment, has the Catalyst to protect it. Level 1, Tier 1 boots as well. He continues to feed. Peke is now finally getting himself back off into the lane, and look how much damage he's managed to do here. The ultimate did come down from Gangplank pretty much a waste, only took 2 bars away from Peke. And well, Alpha, of course, will live to run through that one. Blue buff is available, and it looks like Alpha will be the one to take this down for Sypher. That will give him that bit more sustainability and scariness in the middle area. Actually, Peke is going to start to move in. The ultimate came in. They're going to dive in onto Arthur, who also gets away. Jothi is now the target. Garen's going to come around the side. Ulti was popped there by Shushi as they continue to move around. And Shushi, yeah, they came back in onto him after he'd burned that ulti, which didn't do as much damage as he needed. But Peke is going to dive straight back in onto Arthur, pops his ulti, and this insane heals will get him safe again.
A wish from Soraka keeps that fight alive. That's actually really, really smart by them. I don't know if she just barely hit 6, but again, Peke coming in there and actually doing a lot of damage. Althor getting lower and lower, and he's not close to leveling anymore. So, I mean, he's not going to anyway before Akali could burst him, so he will go to heal. Akali going to be safe right now. Still vamping up. Nice little aggression there. It's definitely difficult to get Swain that low and keep him there and make him recall. Once he has blue, Swain really has that great sustain, but phenomenal play overall.
Good call here from Fnatic as well. After Swain went down, they are going to move into Dragon. Clairvoyance has gone down though, so maybe we'll see Sypher trying to get in for the steal on this one, which won't actually happen. Fnatic have taken it down very, very quickly, and that will be Dragon going after 10 minutes here. First one of the game over to Fnatic, who are 4-2 behind in kills. Obviously, no turret has been taken down. Fnatic do have a 100 gold lead, which of course is absolutely nothing. This is a super close game once again in the second match. The problem for Fnatic, I feel, is that 3-0 Swain is going to cause all kinds of problems.
Yeah, but so is Shushi. Look at him jumping into Skyart, and you know he stealths in, and Skyart actually lands the entire duration of Judgment. And, you know, they're trading back, but of course Skyart has that passive, will start healing. Jumps in onto Shushi, flashes in, and that spin's going to be enough. He will pick up that kill. Nice job by Skyart. Coordinates with Garen, says, hey, or coordinates with Gangplank, says, hey, I'm going to go in. Hear the Demacia yell from the crowd. Nice. But yeah, coordinates that one says, hey, I'm going to go and flash dive this guy with a silence, pop your ult, and just blows him up. That was phenomenal. A great play there. Garen definitely dominating that lane now. Despite those 2 deaths, they're starting to win those 1v1s with only 2 Doran's Blades. And here comes, wow, an instant buy Brutalizer. That's going to be a pretty big deal there. Again, the aggression in mid. Althor has infinite mana, so good luck, Becca.
Jothi is there, actually, as the Laserbird's going. Althor is super low and will be finished off here, but surely we'll see Akali go down. Yes, who will. Nice kick back into turret range. Ezreal's ulti was a mile off after that kick, but I think Cyanide may just be able to pick this one off. Wish comes in just to heal Jothi up. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is, as Garen comes around to save Jothi. And well, a kill for a kill, an eye for an eye, so to speak, in the middle. Both of those middle players going down. Down at the bottom, we did see that Ezreal ulti, which probably wouldn't have been too far off if Cyanide didn't kick him back in towards that tower range. And they're going to put some damage down onto Lune now. Both of those AD carries down at the bottom. We have Ezreal, Sheen, plus the Doran's Blade, plus the Tier 1 boots. For Tristana, it's triple Doran's Blade, plus Berserker's Grief.
All right, and sure enough, yeah, it's Lamia, I think, in the advantage overall, 95 to 81 in minions. Of course, Tristana has those 2 assists, though, from the earlier kill on the Melisson and that first blood. So, gold-wise, look at that real quick. 3,400 versus 3,200. Yeah, Dragon pretty much making the difference there. And they're just pushing constantly onto that turret. Blue buff, of course, on Ezreal, rather useful. So, it's going to make him nice and happy. Seems it's been donated over from the jungler because...
I'm happy.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you be? Look at the solos, and it's like, oh, Akali is on energy, and our jungler's Lee Sid. Yeah, I guess Ezreal gets it now. Well, okay then. Enjoy your Q spam.
That's going to maybe just cause a few problems for this bottom lane. You know, obviously, we saw Piri just taking 1 hit there. It does a decent amount of damage. Obviously, Sheen is there for Lamia as well. Up at the top, we are seeing Cyanide back into the brush. The question is, will SkyArt spot this one? He's moving into a bit of a dangerous position. I think he actually stayed out of range there. I'm not sure if fnatic could actually see him moving over towards that brush. They're definitely going to spot him now, and this Q is surely going to come over from Cyanide. Lots of damage going out. SkyArt surely will go down. The ultimate from Gangplank comes in to get that slow off, but it will be a kill again for Cyanide, who goes 2-on-1 with that Lee Sin. Obviously, he had a great first game. They're now going to push in onto this turret, and I think with these two players, we'll be able to take this turret down. Of course, there is only 1 minion left, but that won't matter. fnatic are going to be taking the first turret of this second game.
Excellent job right there. You can see Lee Sin and Talon have mopped up that turret. Lee Sin recalling Talon last hitting, and then looks like he's going to recall as well. And we move around. We see Soraka and Tristana have pushed that lane up a little bit as Ezreal's about to recall. Killing up some minions. 99 versus 111. Still Ezreal in the lead here. Lune trying to catch back up. A lot of Doran's Blades. Means his auto attacks will be better than the guy with the Sheen, but Ezreal just playing phenomenally, I think.
Joffy has come down into a gank position. Melisande is actually in the brush over on the other side. Let's see how this one all works out. PK actually decides to go that little bit more aggressive. Melisande comes around, surely going to get the ulti off, and it will actually go over onto Joffy. How is this going to turn out? PK actually survives. Joffy taking some damage, but actually no deaths in and amongst all that one. PK was obviously really low.
Yep, Nune got dived by Shushay at the bottom of the map as well. Everyone's going to survive there, but a lot of aggression coming in from Talon. Now jumping onto Soraka as well. She's not in great shape. Gets a little bit of damage onto her, but she'll live. Ezreal, of course, still nearby. Last hitting some minions. Now pushing on to the turret. Looks like they're going to retreat now as Gangplank comes around.
And this is a scary position now on this bottom lane. I mean, if they push in with the Talon, with the Ezreal, they can do so much damage to this turret so quickly. Obviously, Lune is only half HP, so not got so much to offer there. We are going to see that blue buff going over once again onto Althor eventually.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense there. He's going to wear blue again. He does have finally that Rod of Ages, but he needs magic resist really badly. Only has 30 MR, and that is why he is melting to Akali. Or normally you see these Swains build a little bit tanky just from runes and masteries instead of ability power. That is not the case here. He's actually, realistically, I really think he needs that MR. That would have saved him in a couple of those fights. You can see he does have that one death now because he just did not quite get tanky enough for those battles. But we'll see if he can do that.
A ward there, just spotting Joffy moving down onto this bottom lane, which means that fnatic won't be caught out by that one. Melisande's actually worked his way up towards that middle area. He's not quite got his ulti up, but he is going to try and do as much damage as possible. Cyanide will go diving in there as well. Althor is surely going to go down. He's managing to survive, but finally will be ended. Cyanide is in trouble though, and well, he tried to get himself away. Didn't quite work out. They're going to dive now in onto SkyArt. Not quite into turret range though, as the rest of this Sypher team come back around. And it was a 1-for-1 exchange, but I'd say, you know, not bad for fnatic. They've lost their jungler, but they've taken down Althor in middle. That's a good one.
Yeah, it means Garen's wearing some nice buffs right here, but that's not really that big of a deal. P.E.K.K.A now has blue buff, and that's actually fairly useful. Lower cooldowns, a little bit of bonus energy regen. We're going to see how that pans out. Joffy almost got caught out. He's actually playing a little bit too aggressive. They don't really know that fnatic are here. They only see a couple of faces. They have to assume, and actually Shuja going to jump in onto Piri. A lot of damage, will dodge the rake with Flash, and now it's Joffy in the middle. P.E.K.K.A's going to pick one up now. Joffy not in great shape. There comes Garen. Shuja could fall down. He's spinning around. Joffy's going to fall, and he's going to find Shuja, but get it jumped on again. SkyArt not in great shape. He will fall. Wow. Great job by fnatic jumping in and actually not losing anyone, picking up 3 kills directly. Excellent play by these guys. Swain waddling back in a mid, not really helping his team out. Does have Merc Treads finally. A little bit of magic resist picked up. But that's a little bit still painful for him, and fnatic taking down the Dragon again. Great job there. It's their second of this game. They're now up 3,000 gold, despite, again, that early game disadvantage was a big deal. We saw it again. Those lane mismatches were very good for Sypher. But fnatic as a team are playing better, and they're getting their advantages that way.
Yeah, I have to give credit again to Melisande, whose ultimates in the last game and this game so far have been so great, with Sona really getting a stun off across an important group of players during that fight. And again, it turned that one completely around. P.E.K.K.A actually taking a lot of damage here, is almost completely out of energy. That Shroud obviously keeping him surviving. He will back off onto his turret. Cyanide will come around to give him a little bit of assistance. The question is, will they push any more further onto that area? The bottom turret is actually super low from Sypher as well. It's obviously being pushed that little bit more. But they've got 3 guys coming in now. I'm not sure if Jothi will have been seen there by fnatic. In fact, he is going to drop the ulti. Are they going to dive in? Yes, Lunit right into tower range. But he has got the aggro from that turret. Melisande is staying alive right there on the back. And Sypher, okay, they've dove in there. It just wasn't quite perfect for them. I mean, Tristana didn't need to be the one taking them tower hits.
Yeah, Melisande did burn flash for that. That's a lot of the reason for the damage output there. And actually surviving was she got jumped on by pretty much everyone. The slow was there. Tristana jumped in, ulted, but now Flash is going to keep you alive in those situations. Now they could go for Melisande next time, now that he's not wearing a flash. But actually onto Pekka in the middle of the map. He is near a ward and has her invisible. Now Cyanid's in there to help as well, but it's still a 3v2. And they're going to jump in onto Jothi, taking a ton of damage. Will flash back. Wish comes in from Soraka as well. Cyanide and Pekka. They were going to survive, and Shushay now coming around. And fnatic controlling this game now pretty well. Pushing forward, are up in kills now. Shushay enough damage to finally one-shot caster minions.
Yeah, and I think Sypher again are feeling some real pressure into this one. They've done so well in the early game in that laning phase, but now as things start to you know, become a bit more dynamic, it's not going all that great for them. Sushi is actually going to get a ton of free farm up at the top here. Look at that. That one ability stripping straight through. Lots of pings going down actually. fnatic know that this red buff is being done by Sypher as the clairvoyance goes over the top, but there are a lot of men around there. Peke actually is going to go sniffing, but there is a ward already quite forwardly placed from Sypher, so they know that fnatic were thinking about moving in for this one as they dive in onto Arthur. Look how much damage he's taken already. Bursts uses his flash to get away. Cyanide decides not to dive straight in onto the turret on him, but they are going to do an absolute ton as the Gangplank ulti actually went off there up onto the top, which I'm not sure is going to save Skyart. Yes, it will. Just about. Nicely done, Skyart. I don't even know how he kept himself alive for that one. Shroud goes down from Peke and he's like, I'm not going to dive in here. There are 3 guys hanging around.
Yeah, it's not going to be too happy. Lune wearing red buff, going for a black cleaver. Doesn't quite have it yet, though. There's Lamia already, Trinity Force already studying his next item as well. Yeah, Lamia 5,800 gold. 51 only for this Tristana, so building that advantage despite never getting a kill, but his team getting dragons, and actually the last hits, only 3 in the favor, but it's enough to build the advantage. We see Lune again jumping in onto Lamia, Lamia having to push back as Thierry is there to help. Melisande coming around trying to help.
Yeah, Peke actually built the Hextech Revolver, but then went straight in for the Crystal Scepter after that one. Obviously wants to slow on those abilities.
Yep.
Plus the AP that comes along with it. Plus the health, obviously.
Yeah.
Going to be a bonus.
So he wants the Rylays for Rylays.
Yeah,
All
basically.
right.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does. Let's see, Pekka coming through. They are destroying these minion waves. They could push for mid, though Althor is here with blue. Healing pretty consistently here with these minion waves. Does push on to Lamia a little bit, some damage being dealt. Still not a ton of MR, though. Still just the Mercury tread, so he's still very frail. Really does need some more resist here, I would feel. A team with an Aegis would help quite a lot. He's got 850 gold saved up, so he could buy any sort of big tier MR item. They're going to jump in now onto Peke. He's been silenced. A lot of damage coming out here. He's not going to be able to survive. A nice jump in from Sypher, bringing that one back 9-8 in their favor. Only 4,000 gold down, and they've just taken the last 2 kills in a row. Again, harassing Lamia back towards his turret. Althor going to take preferred aggro, but they're going to do a lot of damage here. Should be a little bit afraid. Cyanide's going to be there. The armor buff is nice. We'll keep Skyart pretty healthy. Halano still pushing and farming quite nicely. Getting pretty up there in minion kills. 163, highest in the game, actually. So nice job there, Shushay. Getting pretty beefy.
Yeah, really been farming well up in this top lane. Obviously keeps being forced back by the Gangplank ultis. Almost every time they seem to be going up into that top lane to slow Shushay down. He's at the moment just waiting for his next creep wave to come around. Lune is there, which, I don't know, if Shushay dives onto him here, those cooldowns off, that could be bad news, but Shushay decides, no, I'm going to leave this one, I'm going to go back home, and he'll continue to build. What did he go for? Okay, so Bloodthirster is actually finished now, on top of the cooldown boots and that Brutalizer as well.
Hasn't fought in a while.
I have
1,500 gold.
I have to worry, to be honest, a little bit about the whole late game of Fnatic. I mean, Skyart's getting super strong. Obviously, does have the Giants belt at the moment, so he's getting healthier and healthier. Joffy, what's he got himself there? Also Giants belt. So, you know, there's a lot of tankiness in terms of this Sypher team. Akali, when we get to that late game, I'm not sure how well he's really going to do.
I think Akali has a great chance. There's no major disruption here for Akali. She will always be able to jump onto Soraka or Tristana pretty safely. Has enough dashes there. Jumps onto Althor, a little bit of damage dealt there. Also, Pekka, once she gets Gunblade, it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, that makes a difference as well.
Has a couple more pieces to pick up. Looks like there's going to be a team fight in the bottom river near the dragon. Cyanide in there. Fnatic does take credit, but Cyanide getting hit right now. Sona hits one. Althor immediately drops. Good Ezreal hits everyone. Pekka still on top of Lune, trying to jump in there, but has been silenced. Drops down to Garen. Nice job there. Shushay jumping in, but getting kind of low. Will pick up one, but looks like Fnatic still has so many team members left. Skyar's going to fall. Only have lost one in this fight. PFE jumping over the wall. Can Lamia chase that one? Misses the Q just barely. Still trying to chase. Has been healed. Gets into range. Puts a ward down. Yes, there's the damage output. Has not yet landed a slow. Oh, the silence comes out and will land it under the turret. Nice job, Lamia. And he will make it out. Well played there. Good aggression, knowing what his strengths are. And they've played through correctly.
4 kills again in that team fight. And I have to say this because I feel that supports don't get enough credit anyway. That was, again, another great ulti from Melisande.
Yeah.
Going straight across that Swain, being taken completely out of it. They're going to be taking this mid turret down, absolutely no problem between them. Lamia, of course, just will be chipping away on that one to finish things off. Maybe, possibly.
There we go.
Sends the ulti over towards the top there, getting himself a bit of free farm and keeping that top turret from having any problems.
Nice 600 damage. Ult goes through and actually did take a lot of damage from everyone on Sypher. That Ezreal went through and hit everyone, or at least 3 champions. That was extremely useful. That was a significant part of why they won that team fight. You had seen Shusha get extremely low. They were able to instant burst against the Swain was really nice. Akali died soon after. But I really expect the Shusha to go down there. He managed to not take enough damage to fall. And that was actually a really big deal that Shusha survived that.
And actually going in, Lamia now for Bloodthirst. Already got BSO, already got the Scepter as well. They have a good 7k gold lead at the moment for Fnatic. Obviously they are 3-0 in towers. And the pings, there are some pings going down onto Baron. That is from Fnatic. There is one ward hanging around from Sypher, so they should be able to spot Fnatic headed over towards that direction. Actually, Melisande does have the Oracle, so he's clearing out at the moment, but did walk past the one ward that was there, which means they're going to now know that Fnatic are set up over towards this Baron area. Blue buff is available. Fnatic finally clear out that ward. So Sypher probably have to at least have a peek in towards this Baron area now. And actually Fnatic are going to bring the fight to them over by that blue buff. And Sypher not interested in taking this one, starting to move away, looking for that perfect initiation, which could be coming here down onto Piri, who is super low. Actually will manage to survive that one. Blue buff will go over, though, onto Lamia, and that's going to give him so much more to work with as Althor does go that little bit more aggressive in there. Shroud is down, but okay, was already way away from that fight.
Yep, they are surviving for now. They're still kind of at odds with each other. And they jumped onto Skyar. Wow, Cyanide playing aggressively. Althor getting caught out again. Getting bursted down. It will fall down. Nice by Shushay. Looks like they took down Tristana as well. And it looks like more kills are about to come in through. They're trying to get down onto the Garen. Jonathan going to get caught up by Akali. Will fall down. And Garen's going to die as well. And they picked up all 5 and lost no one. Nice by Fnatic. They took down every one of those kills. And now they're going to move on. And sure, why not Baron? There's no one to stop you.
And again, and I'm sure there's going to be so many forum threads about this one, but Melisande ulti over the final 2 men, got those last 2 kills, got the ace. Brilliant play from Fnatic. That Baron is there. And just to prove it, actually, Melisande is 0-1-11. Very, very nice score as a support player.
Yep, great job here.
Pretty much all headed off back home to be buying up some stuff. Let's see what we've got there. Bloodthirster is now finished for Ezreal. Cyanide building up to his Atmas to complement that Warmogs.
And let's see what else they have going on. So Ezreal, yeah, the Bloodthirsters you just mentioned. We do have the Warmogs on Garen and Gangplank. Both of them building through. Yeah, so 3 Warmonks this game so far. Lee Sin about as far up as Garen is. Of course, they have Baron, which is a big deal, and Akali has finished Gunblade, so a rather scary Akali.
And that Akali going to be doing ridiculous amounts of damage now. Actually, got the chain vest as well there. Fnatic start to push with 3 guys down towards this middle area. That turret is still on full HP. They've got a decent amount of minions with them. There is a 4-man push from Fnatic. Akali is still a little bit far behind, but as you can see, Sypher not even interested in sticking around this turret. They're going to back away and try to hold from the edge of their base.
Fnatic is ready to keep pushing on in. You look at Shushei's build, pure offense right now. You see a lot of players are like, oh, I'm going to go Merc Treads and a Hex Drinker and maybe Phage. And Shushei's like, I'm going to get BF Swords. And that build's working for him so far. I mean, he's got some deaths, sure, but his team is just eviscerating Sypher right now. And he's certainly a large part of that, doing a ton of damage with his Talon. Pushing on through. Looks like they're going to keep aggressing a little bit. They're going to keep on these minions, dropping them down almost immediately. Trinity Force, Ezreal Q's, one-shot caster minions. Will they keep pressing on? Talon's pushing bottom. They might switch over there. Top has a big minion wave as well. And actually, Sypher moving on in. Gameplay ult is on there. They've all tried to retreat. Akali Shroud going to slow them down as well. They will stymie that push. And Talon still pushing. Might get a free turret out of this.
Yeah, Fnatic are now going to chase themselves back in there. Actually, Lunet's out of position. This could be very, very dangerous. And well, Joffy came in just to keep him alive, to try and soak up a little bit of that damage that Ezreal was constantly putting across there. But it looks like Fnatic, once they've cleared out this minion wave, will try to do a little bit of damage. Finally, we see Shushi doing that split push, and he's taken down that bottom turret with absolutely no resistance whatsoever. And they are going to dive in onto Arthur. That's a great move. The flash is coming out. Again, a brilliant ulti from Melisande. Will trap down to Jyoti will fall. Piri is still alive for a split second at least. Skyheart is the next one to go down, and Fnatic are going to ace, and this is going to be good games. Amazing, amazing play from Fnatic.
Ace the enemy team behind all the turrets. I like that move. Everyone flashes in and just takes down the team. Ace, no one even below half health from that fight. Amazing play by them. Just jumped, surprised everyone. The burst damage way too much to deal with. And of course, by diving into the middle of the base, no turrets to defend. And they're going to go on to the Nexus. Fnatic about to take game 2 against Sypher. They will move on to the finals. And they will face the winner of CLG versus SK. Sypher will stick around and play a 3rd place match tomorrow against the loser of that one. So congrats to Fnatic. 2-0-ing, not losing a game all tournament so far. And the button there for good
old
effect.
GG buttons. They appear all the time. Good stuff. Yeah, but Fnatic so impressive throughout that best of 3.
Yeah.
But again, Sypher, the early games in both matches were actually quite impressive from them. It just seemed like they lost something in towards late game, or maybe Fnatic, that's where they really were shining, those teamwork, those big team fights. Yeah. They were great going forward, and you know, the scoreline kind of proves that one.
Yeah, I think in terms of sort of individual mechanical skill, decision-making, even team comp as well, I think Sypher did an excellent job, especially in Champion Select, in picking lanes that would theoretically win those lanes, and we saw that in each of those. Talon did not have an easy lane, ended up dying a couple times. That first blood was ridiculously awesome. You know, Swain was winning his lane. Tristana versus Ezreal with the supports there. Those were close. But the coordination from Fnatic, you know, we saw them actually gank from across lanes a couple of different times. We saw Akali show up and kill that Garen who was crushing Talon's face. We saw Talon come down a couple of times. We saw them invade the jungle a number of times as well. They stole blue at least once. But Sypher didn't have that same movement. They kind of just stayed in their lanes and said, okay, well, Gangplank, you go help people a little bit. We'll kind of have that you know, 1+1 versus 1. But Fnatic had much better movements. They ganked much better. They moved for a dragon better. As a team, they did play better, and that was kind of what it was. It's like, you know, in terms of comp, yeah, Sypher's really got it. But Fnatic's skill is so good. They play so phenomenally well. When it's time to really shine and when it's time to win a game.
They look a little bit unstoppable right now.
They do.
They've played 5 games, and they've won all 5 of them in this tournament. They've not dropped a single map so far. Let's have a quick look at the post-match screen here, just to, you know, give the glory where it's due to these players. Running down Fnatic, Shushi 7-3-10, Cyanide 4-2-11, Lamia 1-0-13. Also a great performance there with that Ezreal. Melisande 0-1-16, and I think, you know, so many crucial ultis that he's got off in that game. Akali 10-4-5, and Fnatic really just picking up that game, you know, 22-10 overall. Really, really impressive stuff.
And we do have the players actually coming by right now. We have Shushay right here, so I think we're going to do an interview with them in the very near future. So we're going to hit a quick break, and then we're going to have the players going to talk about their game, and I'm looking forward to that, so stay tuned. And, of course, we'll have more matches today as well.
The fourth stop of Season 6 of the Intel Extreme Masters will take place in one of the world's most advanced gaming centers, the Cybersport Arena in Kiev, Ukraine. It will be the first global challenge of the new year 2012, and it'll take place between January 19th till the 22nd. You can expect the best gamers in the world to face off head-to-head in our 3 disciplines: Counter-Strike 1.6, StarCraft 2, and of course League of Legends. Make sure you join us live in Kiev at the Cybersport Arena or here live on esl-tv.
What's the most amazing thing you ever saw? Was it something big or something small? Something old or something new? Or maybe, just maybe, it's something you haven't seen yet. The second generation of Intel Core processors. Stunning visuals, intelligent performance. This is visibly smart.
Counter-Strike Legends. Now stood united with BenQ. Make history again.
Phil, have you found opponents already? Phil? Phil! Do we have an opponents yet? Phil? Phil! You're not fantasizing about my girlfriend again, are you?
Boring! Are they penguins or are they sloths?
They want a show? We'll give them a show. Ready, Kowalski? Roger that. Operation Rico Star is afoot. Bingo.
Look at him go!
He's crack-a-lackin'. Mission accomplished. No more smiling and waving for us, boys. High fives all around.
When the second generation Intel Core i5 processor goes in, amazing visual performance comes out. That's visibly smart.
So welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge here in New York, and joining me is Shushay from fnatic, who have just gone, well, through Sypher, let's say that. You beat them 2-0, you've not lost a single game. First of all, what's your secret?
I don't know. I think it's Pekka. This tournament, Pekka is awesome. I really hope he gets MVP of this tournament.
Well, tell us about the game itself. I mean, the first game you had a little bit of trouble in the start with Talon. Talk us through that one, and how are you feeling?
Well, the Udyr kept the lane like close to enemy turret, and Ramos was just roaming back and forth, back and forth. Whenever I went to catch the XP, not even the creep kills, just the XP, Ramos was there. So I think I managed to escape like 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, 2 times I had to burn
I think
the
even
summoners.
when you had a warden, he came from the river side,
Yeah.
and you didn't see him anyway. So yeah, they did a good job of holding you off with that one.
And then,
yeah, tell us about the first game and how it changed for you, because the early game was great for Sypher, but you turned it round.
Yeah, well, I had troubles on top, but on the other hand, our bottom lane was like free to do anything because they had their jungler. Ramos was top all the time, so they could just farm and outclass the enemy on bottom. And Caitlyn was really weak in the early mid game.
Yeah.
That's why we won early team fights, because our carry was a lot stronger than theirs. And also, like, after I died first time, Cyanide came to babysit me a bit because I asked him to, and I died again, but we also got a kill, so it got me a little back in the game. And after that, he came a few more times, and we managed to pull through.
And ended up with a really, really strong scoreline on that Lee Sin. Did you expect them going into the second game to maybe be banning Lee Sin out of it?
I think they weren't scared that much of Lee Sin because compared, for example, to Kassadin, Kassadin is much more stronger. And I think the second game they made mistake by picking Swain, because Swain is not really good against bursty champions, and we had 2 of them. We had Akali and we had Talon. So you could see that in last fight, or most of the fights he was just dropping down. We took him on focus, jump on him, and he was out.
And what about the, going forward into this tournament? You've obviously not lost a single game now. SK are going to be playing CLG in the next semi-final. And I actually asked on Twitter, do you have any questions for Sushi? And a few people apparently did. The first one was, who would you prefer to play in the final, SK or CLG?
Well, it's difficult questions, because I would like a full European final, but on the other hand, I feel like CLG would kind of, how is it called, underestimate the power of some champions like they did in group stage.
Yeah.
So maybe it would be a bit easier to play our favorite champions.
Let's have a look, see if there are any more, actually. Sushi, will we see a Talon cosplay like you did at the Season 1 Championships with Gragas when you get to the finals, when you win the finals?
I don't have any thing like... Gragas cosplay was
Gragas
easier.
was pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
You just needed the barrel, and that was it. And actually, a question from Xenon, who your half-twin brother,
my dad.
at least hair brother, in that one. He said, ask him if he prefers Talon over dual AP, or if the Bruiser lineup is a reaction to something in the game.
Well, Talon isn't actually Bruiser; it's Assassin.
Yeah.
So
he's an assassin. Yeah, Xenon, get it right.
Yeah, we kind of started to liking assassins now, but double AP is also okay. Like, which the Chinese team showed at the Ganzo, right?
What do you think to the Chinese teams? Obviously, you weren't in China for that event. What were you kind of surprised to see how well they did and what they came up with?
I was kind of expecting them to come strong, because, well, Eastern Europe, well, Asia always was strong in the gaming, so
yeah,
that's just like the born feature.
Do you think they're going to be pushing even harder? Do you think once they have more time with League of Legends and more big tournaments, do you think they're going to really be the top teams around?
Yeah, of course. Like, we have top American teams, we have top Europe teams. Why not top Asian teams?
But I mean, like top of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's possible.
Well, you heard it here first. Sushi thinks it as well. Maybe we'll see him transferring over to a Chinese team.
I love my team. I love my team. We're gonna try to hold our stand as long as possible.
And yeah, there's one final question which I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate. Why no Gragas?
Why no Gragas? I don't know. Actually, we could have picked him, but we just preferred to pick Talon today.
Well, maybe we'll see some Gragas in the grand final. Thanks a lot, Sushi, for joining us. Congratulations on getting yourself through to the final, and good luck against either SK or CLG. We're going to go to another quick break, but when we come back, we will grab someone from Sypher as well and have a little bit of a chat with them. Don't go anywhere. So we're back here with Skyart from Team Sypher. We heard him in the pre-game interview. A 2-0 loss for you guys.
Yeah.
Going into the game, what was your realistic expectation for this one, considering how well Fnatic have played?
Yeah, we knew that it was a super good team, and they are really in
Can you
great
move your
shape.
microphone just a little bit? There we go.
Okay.
That's the one.
They were in really good shape, as we can see against American teams, and we expected them to do super good, and they did. We expected to do better, but happens.
Tell us about the second game. Obviously, that's the freshest in everyone's mind. Obviously, we saw the Swain coming out as the first pick, actually, of that one. What was the thinking behind Swain first?
We know that they like double AP, and we try to ban APs that they lack so much.
Yeah.
Just Kassadin. You don't want to see XPK with Kassadin. And we know that they do like these heroes, and we expect Shushay to win for Gragas. We tried to make him win for Gragas, but he goes for Talon, so we were kind of sad about this. We really supposed that he was going to Greg, as in AP he played mostly Greg and Swain. They have many dash heroes. They jump everywhere, and with Lee Sin it's good combo because Lee Sin can jump on allies, on teammates. So if Akali jump in, Lee Sin can follow, and same for Talon. So they did fine. And Lee Sin was, I think, a super good pick. He did so well in the second game. It just camped up. It just came. It just camped so many times. I just could not kill Talon. GP was somewhere else. So yeah, Lee Sin really, I think, really helps Talon on top lane. It was so annoying for me. Really so annoying.
I just asked on Twitter as well.
Okay.
By the way, you should follow us here at twitter.com/IntelEM, and also I'm going to pimp myself a bit, twitter.com/Joe_Miller, because that's where I was asking everything. And the questions that came in for you, why Swain? So we already asked that one for that one. And Zenon says, why no Nasus? We saw it from you in this tournament, in the qualifiers for this tournament online recently. You've been playing a super strong Nasus. Why no Nasus this game?
Because we know that Fnatic is an early mid team, I think. They are super good in mid game.
Yeah.
So if you take a late hero, you're gonna lose. It's super hard to all the mid lane, to all the mid game, if you have late composition, because they have so much team play, and maybe we can see it on the final as well. I think they will win the final, but let's see what happens.
What about the other semi-final? Obviously, SK and CLG are going to face off here in around about half an hour's time, I believe. What's your opinion on that one?
If SK let Kog'Maw, if CLG let Kog'Maw, SK will win. I can bet it already. I can bet my hand.
You heard it here first. Skyart's going handless.
Yeah.
If SK don't win with
one
Kog'Maw.
player now. Yeah, really, Candy Panda is just super awesome. And else, I don't know. I think it will be more fair than the game we saw here. But I think SK can win this. Depends of what they pick ban. I think the big ban will nearly choose the winner of this.
Another question actually coming in there. Why did you prefer to go with Soraka over other supports in that final game?
We took Soraka because Parry, our support player, said that it was true. Talon is AD, full AD.
Yeah.
Lee Sin is full AD, and Az is full AD. So if he buff the Swain at the right time, he can handle the AD burst, because it's super. I mean, Talon is mostly a burst champion. It's like an AP as AD. So if he can buff the Swain at the right time, it can protect him so much from Talon, Lee Sin, etc. So that was the goal at the beginning.
So there you go. Question answered for that one. I'm sure there's like a million more coming in there. Who would you rather play for a third place playoff game? Who do you want to face for picking up that bronze medal game? If you had the choice right now.
Well, I don't really prefer a team. I mean, I never played against CLG, so I would say CLG just to have to play against them, because it's they are super famous. It would be fun to play against them, but we know them we know them less obviously than SK.
Yeah.
But SK know us a lot as well, so it's kind of fair.
Well, SkyArt, thank you very much, and good luck in the third place game.
Can I just say thanks to Sypher and Rise Nexus. It's with Rise Nexus you can just everyone can create a website. Thanks to Omer, the best beer in the world, and Steel Series, the best stuff in the world. So thanks to them we are here, and we arrived in semi-final, and we will do our best to reach the third place.
And really good job to you guys. I think a lot of people weren't expecting you to come out so strong. And good luck for picking up that third place playoff game a little bit later on tomorrow. So we're going to be moving on to a quick break, but of course when we come back it will be the second semi-final to determine who will play fnatic in the grand final tomorrow. It's SK versus CLG, and it's coming up next.